Hi there, Lisa Rana here, and welcome to today's Assemble This video. We're going to be working on some foil and two-tone blending with distress inks. I just love the shine and the contrast of the colors and the blending. Just makes for a beautiful card that's perfect for a background to highlight your sentiment. I'm using the So Many Happy Wishes Sent Your Way sentiment from Every Single Day sentiment kit from Unity Stamp Company, which is perfect for any occasion. I have all my supplies gathered and ready to go. Again, we're using some toner card fronts from Decofoil by Thermoweb and designed by Unity Stamp Company. I just love the background that this creates. It's so Unity and it's so perfect. I just love them. I'm going to be using two tones of foil. I'm using a pink towards the top, and I'm just trimming that down so I cover the top half with a pink. And then I trimmed down a purple foil color for the bottom. I'm placing this in a parchment sheet that comes with the toner card fronts and putting the pretty side up, pink on top and purple on the bottom, and then closing over my parchment paper and then smoothing it out so it's nice and even. Wrinkles do matter with foil. They won't pick up the toner. The toner won't pick up the foil if there's any wrinkles. So I try to keep it as smooth as possible, and the parchment paper helps with that immensely. And I'm just going to run that through my laminator. I have it on the 5 mil setting, and it's been heating up for about 20 minutes, so it's nice and hot. And I just ran that through once. And then once I was done, I took off the foil, and now I'm just going to be adding on my distress ink. I'm using some Dusty Concord purple to match the purple side of that foil, and I'm just blending on ink using a blender brush and just slowly adding on layer upon layer of ink. And then up on top I'm using worn lipstick, and again I'm just adding layer upon layer and just kind of blending, making the edges a little bit deeper with the color and keeping it lighter towards the center. And it worked out fine to add the ink over the top of the foil. It didn't dull the image of the foil at all, so that worked out perfectly. I just kept layering and blending on more ink until I got the depth of color that I liked. So perfect. Once I was done, I used a stitched rectangle die to create a stitched edge. And I just ran that through my die cut machine, and I did want it to mat against the back of my card front, so I trimmed it down so there was a little bit of edge around my stitched edge. I used that as a guide and just trimmed each side down. I wanted to make sure that the stitched edge was still a feature, but I wanted a little bit of a matting effect, so we saw a little bit of the white from the card front as well. Next, I'm just going to stamp my sentiment. I have some scrap white cardstock. I always use Nina Solar White 80-pound paper, cardstock paper for my card bases, so I had a scrap piece and I just stamped my sentiment on that. Just going to trim it down using my trimmer, just so it's a little bit of a border on either side of the sentiment, just like that. And then I always like a banner look, so I'm going to notch out the end of the sentiment here. I just use my scissors, I trim it down to the length that I like, and then I cut a little bit of a slit into the edge, and then I cut from end to end. And that creates the perfect little banner for me. I'm going to add some foam adhesive to the back of that foiled and blended background. This is some new foam adhesive that I got from scrapbook.com. I really like the size of it. It covers the backgrounds just perfectly. And I'm going to lay that down on my card front and secure it. Make sure that it's flat. And then I used again some more foam adhesive to the back of my sentiment. And that just pops it up as well. I always love layers of dimension. It's very simple, but it creates a little bit more interest for your eye rather than everything flat on flat. So now I have some Nuvo drops. I couldn't decide between the yellow and the green. In the end, I went with the green. I like the color of the Nuvo Crystal Soft Mint. Kind of reminded me of leaves. So I'm placing some of those on the front of the card in kind of a random pattern and in odd numbers. And I'm doing them in threes. And then I realized that wasn't odd, so I added one more to make it 7. And last, I have these rainbow or dewdrops or some sort of drops. I don't know. They're kind of clear, but with a little bit of a blue color. And I'm just adding each of those to the center of the flowers. Again, just another something to add a little bit of more interest to my card and a little bit more shine. I always love shine. I'm using some glossy accents to glue those down, and then I have a rhinestone pencil that I got off of Amazon to just pick those rhinestones up. So here is the finished card with the beautiful blended ink background, the shine from the foil on top from those wonderful Unity Stamp Company toner card fronts that just makes cards super easy, and then just the perfect sentiment and little accents to match. I'll have all the supplies linked in the description of this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll definitely see you next time. Bye!